every dollar from the 49 million US dollars will go directly into capital expenditure for the assets. In Uganda, we're beginning immediately with the 9 culverts between Jinja and Tororo. This will enable, as you know, when we move a train from Mombasa, we get to Tororo, we divide it into 2. And we also don't let the bigger locomotives come across. We want that train to come all the way from Mombasa and go all the way to Jinja. That will give us a lot of efficiencies. We estimate, although we have done the tender, which is still under evaluation, we estimate the ticket for the culverts will be around $4 million. We have about 12 culverts in that area. 3 have been done, and these 9 ones, and they need to be done very urgently. The other one that we're doing very quickly is the rail between Mombasa and Nairobi. Between Nairobi and Mombasa, the design speed is 45 to 70 kilometers an hour. 45 kilometers in very small section, but most of it is 70 kilometers an hour. At the moment, if we are lucky, we do 30 kilometers an hour. So you can see how that drags that down, and it has adverse effects on the whole system. So we are going to be doing the 70 kilometers is not in one section. It's about 200 different sections. You have a section of 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers there, 1.5 kilometers in different sections, and it's worn out curves. So once we replace that, and we've done the culverts, we will be truly on the way to a complete turnaround. We are also in the process of now purchasing a number of equipment that we need. One of the things that, ladies and gentlemen, we need to understand, rail is capital intensive, but also when you're buying the spares, the lead times to get those spares takes time. If you say you want to buy a locomotive today, probably you will get it after 12 months. The rails, we were lucky, we had already started the tendering process, so we are going to get the first rails in May, and the culverts is just a question of civil engineering. Maybe I should, that, I was hoping I'll have more. So, apart from the rail and the culverts, we're embarking on reliability problem of the locomotives, both in Kenya and Uganda. In Uganda, we have an investment plan which we will be spending somewhere about 13 million US dollars on the first run of it. We have also wagons in Kenya and Uganda, and 400 wagons are being done here in Narukorongo, and we will be, as we go back, we are improving on the equipment for offloading and loading. That is the bridge stackers that we use in the yard here. In another time when I come to see you, I would like to talk about the inland port that we're going to build in Mukono and some of the improvements we are making. But today, I just wanted to give you a synopsis of what we are doing with the 49 million US dollars that we received. We are introducing a new control center which will manage trains in one area. At the moment, from Mombasa to Kampala, we have 90 stations. And in this 90 stations, the train stops at every station to take a line paper clear. In the olden days, I can see most of you are fairly young here, so you will not remember this. It's only perhaps 2 people in this room who can remember this. But in the olden days, there used to be something called a line clear. And if the train was going at the station, it was a long loop like that. So what would happen, the driver will come and throw one down, and he's given another one. And the whole system was based on copper wires for communication. So it meant if the train is coming from station B, going to station A, it is only the guy at station A who could release the train at station B to come across. Basically, he's saying, I have not released any opposing train, it's only your train that is coming. And he would give him a token, what we used to call a token. And you could not, the guy at station B could not remove that token unless, if the train is going to Mr. Nyambari, he releases the token. And there was a very elaborate system. So once he releases the token, I'm able to remove it and give it to the driver. But today, the train has to stop, the station master has to write and say, yes, I'm giving you clearance. I have talked to Nyambari and he said it's okay, there's no train, and then he gives me my paper clip. It's a very primitive way of running things, because what basically it means is we come, we are not sure, and accidents can happen, there is no efficiency. The locomotive, as it stops, is consuming fuel. As you start, you're consuming fuel, and you're depending on mobile phones, and it's a very, very inefficient, very archaic, and really back. It's like we're still in the caves, as it were. So this system, it means we will have one board that will control all of the trains. So the chap sitting there will be able to tell the drivers, because we'll have onboard computers on the locomotives. It will be on real time and on real, up to the minute in terms of operations. This is our entire 5-year investment plan, and it's fairly elaborate, timed. The only thing we want to try and do is try and bring forward some of the events that we want to do in 2014 and 2015. But it has a spend on locomotives, refurbishment, reliability programs, new wagons. If you go down, you'll find we have also at some stage where we buy new locomotives and that kind. So it's a fairly elaborate system, and we believe that in 5 years we will have a line that all of you will be proud of. Moving ahead, the number of product offerings, and as I mentioned, I'll come back again to talk about the inland port here. We want to do a door-to-door service. We want to be able to, anybody for Rwanda, Burundi, Eastern Congo, Sudan, Southern Sudan. Okay, Southern Sudan, we may be able to do it through Tororo up to Gulu and up. But for everybody else in this region, Kampala is going to be the most important staging point for us. We believe if you want to bring the efficiencies in the port of Mombasa and you want to do it cost effectively, all that nonsense that happens in the port of Mombasa with a multiplicity of agents, everybody thinking is important and everybody has something to add, which adds no value at all. We need to get out of that, and every custom treatment of Ugandan cargo, Burundi, Rwanda, Congo, everything should happen here in Kampala. It's something that I strongly believe in, something I've been advocating for many years, and I think at least it will come to pass during my lifetime. So, generally, that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope I've given you a snapshot of what we've been up to and where we are going. So I'll take as many questions as you wish, either when I'm standing here or when if you like me to sit down, I'll be happy to do that. Thank you.
My name is Emmanuel Yuchi from NTV. Two quick questions. One, you have these many challenges and this much money to work through for 5 years. When you see operation that is picking up, say I can take a train across your route, as a passenger, or I can transport my cargo across your route. Even before 2015, when you see operations picking up, and then two, do you have any plans for your marine link on Lake Victoria?
Yeah. Let me start with a little story. The chairman of Citadel was looking at me. I was having a chat with him last week, and he told me exactly what you said. I have so much money now. I may start behaving like that camel that's been in the desert for 6 months, no water, and suddenly it finds a lot of water, and you drink it until you pass on the sins. No, I'm not going to do that. To answer your first question, once we've done the 70 kilometers of rail, because we are now doing the rails and we're doing rehabilitating the wagons. Later on, we need to buy wagons. Once we've done the 70 kilometers, the wagons are coming onto stream, and the culverts are done. I reckon that will take us 12 months. Within 12 months, our service will significantly change, because then our accident rates will go down, and you'll see quite a lot of movement. Now, the challenge that we will have then, which we must start addressing now, is that and we've started looking at it, at the end of Mombasa, we must be able to load and discharge a train within 2 hours.